I paid for my siblings' education. They pretended I didn't exist after. Now their career collapsed, and I'm the supportive family member again. 35M, just got a phone call from my younger brother asking if he could move in with me, temporarily. I said no and hung up. This is the story of how I paid $127,000 for my brother's education, got erased from his life when he became successful, and refused to be his safety net when it all fell apart. The beginning. I'm the oldest of two. My brother Ethan, 28M, is 7 years younger. Our parents died in a car accident when I was 19 and Ethan was 12. Dad's life insurance paid for the funeral and settled the mortgage. The house was ours, free and clear. But that was it. No college fund. No savings. Just a house and 2 teenagers with no parents. I was a sophomore in college on a partial scholarship, working part-time to cover what the scholarship didn't. When our parents died, I had a choice: finish my degree or raise my brother. I chose both. Dropped out for a semester to get my bearings. Got custody of Ethan. Went back to school part-time while working full-time. Took me 6 years to finish my bachelor's degree because I had to keep stopping to work more hours. To pay bills. To keep Ethan fed and clothed and safe. Those 6 years were brutal. I worked as a night manager at a warehouse. 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. Then I'd go home, get Ethan ready for school, sleep for 4 hours, go to my afternoon classes, pick Ethan up, make dinner, help with homework, sleep 2 hours, go back to work. I did this for 6 years. Ethan never went without. Never missed a meal. Never wore clothes that didn't fit. Never felt like we were struggling, even though we absolutely were. I made sure of it. When he turned 16, I taught him to drive in our ancient Toyota. When he wanted to join the soccer team, I found the money for fees and equipment. When he needed a tutor for calculus, I paid for it even though it meant skipping meals myself that month. I was his parent, his provider, his stability. And I loved him, despite how hard it was. He was my baby brother, and I'd have done anything for him. College time. When Ethan graduated high school, he got into a good state university. No scholarship, just acceptance. I can go to community college, he said. Save money.
No.
You got into a real university. You're going.
How?
We can't afford it. I'll figure it out. And I did. I took out Parent Plus loans in my name. I picked up a second job on weekends. I sold Dad's old car collection that had been sitting in the garage. I made it work. Ethan's tuition, room and board, books, fees, I covered all of it. $31,750 per year for 4 years. $127,000 total. I went into debt to give him what our parents would have wanted him to have. Meanwhile, I was living in that same house we'd grown up in. The one that was paid off. Eating ramen. Driving a 15-year-old car. Wearing the same clothes I'd had for a decade. But Ethan had a college experience. Dorm room. Meal plan. Study abroad semester in Spain. I covered that too, another $8,000. He graduated with a degree in finance. Zero debt. Ready to start his career. I was 30 years old with $135,000 in debt from his education and my own. But he was set up for success. That's what mattered. The distance begins. Ethan got a job at a prestigious investment firm in New York City right out of college. $85,000 starting salary. I was so proud. You did it, I told him. All that hard work paid off. Thanks for everything, David. I couldn't have done this without you. I know. I'm proud of you. He moved to New York. I helped him move. Drove the U-Haul 12 hours. Helped him set up his tiny studio apartment in Manhattan. I'll pay you back, he said. Once I'm settled. Once I have some savings. Take your time. Focus on your career. That was the last real conversation we had. The erasure. The first year, Ethan called every few weeks. Texted occasionally. The second year, calls dropped to once a month. Texts became rare. The third year, I was calling him. He'd respond with short messages. Busy at work. Talk soon. I invited him home for Thanksgiving. Can't make it. Work project. Christmas? I'm going to Aspen with coworkers. His birthday? I sent a card, and a gift. No acknowledgement. My birthday? Silence. I started following him on social media to see what he was up to. That's when I realized I'd been erased. The social media presence. Ethan's Instagram was full of his new life. Expensive dinners, rooftop parties, vacation photos from Bali, Monaco, the Maldives, designer clothes, luxury watches, bottle service at clubs, and captions about making it on my own and self-made success, and grateful for the opportunities one created for myself. No mention of me. Not once. He posted about family occasionally, but it was always his girlfriend's family. Her parents, her siblings. Never me. One post particularly stung. Photo of him in a suit outside his office building. Caption: 5 years ago, I graduated college with a dream. Today I'm a VP at 27. No handouts. No shortcuts. Just hard work and determination. Grateful for everyone who believed in me. Folded hands, hashtag self-made, hashtag finance life, hashtag hustle harder. No handouts. I'd paid $127,000 for his education. I'd worked 2 jobs for 6 years while he was in high school. I'd gone into life-changing debt to make sure he could graduate without owing anything. No handouts. I commented, "Proud of you, little brother. Glad I could help you get there." He deleted my comment within an hour. The girlfriend. Year 4, Ethan got serious with a girlfriend. Chelsea. From old money. Connecticut family. Trust fund. Her Instagram was even more lavish than his. They went to Paris. To Tokyo. To the Greek islands. All documented. All expensive. All showing a life I'd never have. Ethan posted about Chelsea constantly. My amazing girlfriend. The love of my life. She makes me better. They got engaged. He posted a photo of the ring. Massive diamond. She said yes. I'm the luckiest man alive. Can't wait to build a life with you at Chelsea Van Doorn ring. I found out about his engagement from Instagram. Not from a call. Not from a text. From a public post. I called him. It rang once and went to voicemail. I texted, "Congratulations on the engagement. Would love to hear about it." He replied 3 days later. "Thanks. Things are crazy with wedding planning. I'll call when I can." He never called. The wedding. The wedding was in Connecticut. Exclusive venue. 200 guests. I wasn't invited. I found out it was happening because Chelsea's mother posted about it on Facebook. So blessed to celebrate the marriage of our daughter Chelsea to Ethan Chen. Beautiful ceremony at the country club. Couldn't be happier. 2 hearts. Photos showed an elaborate wedding. String quartet. Ice sculptures. Designer everything. My brother got married, and I wasn't there. I sent a text, saw photos of the wedding. It looked beautiful. Wish I could have been there. No response. I tried calling. Straight to voicemail. I sent an email. "Ethan, I don't know what I did to deserve being cut out of your life, but I miss my brother. I helped raise you. I paid for your education. I love you. Please talk to me." No response. I was deleted from his life. That's when I realized what had happened. Ethan had built a new life. A life where he was self-made. A life with wealthy in-laws and prestigious friends. I didn't fit that narrative. I was a reminder that he wasn't self-made. That someone had sacrificed for him. That his success was built on my back. I was the warehouse worker brother who lived in a middle-class neighborhood and drove an old car. I embarrassed him. So he erased me. Changed his story. Made himself the hero who overcame everything alone. And I was written out completely. 5 years of silence. For 5 years, I heard nothing. I stopped trying to contact him. I finished paying off my debt. Took me until I was 33 to pay off the loans from his education. $135,000 in total payments. Interest had added another $8,000. Every month for 5 years, I made those payments. Payments for an education my brother got. An education he used to build a life that didn't include me. Meanwhile, his Instagram showed luxury. Promotions. Bonuses. Designer purchases. He made VP at 27, Senior VP at 29, Managing Director at 31. Posted about each promotion. Hard work pays off. Earned, not given. Self-made success. Each post felt like a slap. But I stopped following him eventually. Stopped checking.
Stopped caring. Or tried to.
I built my own life. Met someone. Got engaged myself. Bought a small condo. Nothing fancy. Nothing Instagram-worthy. Just normal, stable, good life. I didn't need Ethan. I'd grieved losing him.
Moved on.
Then last month, everything changed.
The call.
My phone rang from an unknown number. I don't usually answer unknown numbers, but something made me pick up. David? It's Ethan. I almost hung up. What do you want? I need to talk to you. After 5 years of silence? No thanks.
Please.
It's important. What could possibly be important enough to call me after you erased me from your life? I'm in trouble. Of course he was. What kind of trouble? Can we meet? In person? I'd rather not discuss it over the phone.
No.
Tell me now or don't tell me at all. He sighed. I lost my job. Chelsea left me. I'm in a bad situation. And you're calling me why? Because you're my brother. Because I need help. I was your brother 5 years ago too. Where were you then?
Please.
I know I messed up. Messed up? You didn't invite me to your wedding. You deleted my comments on social media. You pretended I didn't exist. That's not messing up. That's a choice. I know.
I'm sorry.
I was trying to fit into a different world, and I made mistakes. What do you want, Ethan? Can I stay with you? Just temporarily. While I figure things out. I laughed. Actually laughed. You want to move in with me? I have nowhere else to go. What about Chelsea's family? Your wealthy in-laws. They don't want anything to do with me now that Chelsea left. What about your finance friends? The ones you went to Bali with. They're not really friends. More like colleagues. And now that I'm not working. So when you had money and success, I didn't exist. Now that you're struggling, suddenly I'm your brother again. It's not like that. It's exactly like that. David, please.
No.
What?
No.
You can't stay with me. I'm your brother. You stopped being my brother when you cut me out of your life. When you pretended I didn't exist. When you claimed to be self-made while living off the $127,000 I paid for your education. Silence. You remember that number, Ethan? $127,000. Plus $8,000 in interest. That's what I paid so you could graduate debt-free and build your self-made career. I know.
Do you?
Do you know that I worked 2 jobs for 6 years? That I ate ramen while you ate at Meal Hall? That I went into debt I only just paid off last year while you posted photos from Monaco? I'm sorry. I don't care about your apology. I care that you only remembered I existed when you needed something. I made a mistake. You made a choice. For 5 years. Every day you chose not to contact me.
Not to acknowledge me.
Not to thank me. That wasn't a mistake. That was deliberate. What do you want me to say? Nothing. I want you to figure out your own life. Like I had to, when I was 19 and suddenly responsible for a 12-year-old. I didn't have anyone to call. I figured it out. Now it's your turn. That's different.
How?
How is it different? He didn't have an answer. Goodbye, Ethan. I hung up. What happened? I did some digging after that call. Found out through mutual acquaintances what had happened to my brother's perfect life. The job, Ethan's firm had been investigated for securities fraud. Multiple executives were implicated. Ethan wasn't directly involved, but the whole division was shut down. Everyone lost their jobs. The marriage, Chelsea apparently left in the moment he lost his job. Took the apartment, it was in her name. The car, leased through her father's company. Everything. Filed for divorce within 2 weeks. The lifestyle. Turned out most of Ethan's lavish lifestyle was funded by Chelsea and her family. His salary was good, but not Monaco vacation every year good. He'd been living above his means, supplemented by her trust fund. When both the job and Chelsea disappeared, so did everything else. He'd gone from managing director living in Manhattan to unemployed and essentially homeless in a matter of weeks. Part of me felt bad. Most of me felt nothing. Ethan didn't give up after one call. He called again 2 days later. I didn't answer. He sent a text. Please reconsider. I have nowhere to go. I'm sleeping on a friend's couch. I'm your brother. You can't just abandon me. I replied, you abandoned me first. Good luck. He sent another text. I'll pay you back. For everything. I promise. Just let me stay until I get back on my feet. Me. You said that 7 years ago. You never paid back $1. Not interested. Ethan. I was building my career. Me. You were building a lifestyle. On my money. While pretending I didn't exist. Ethan. What do you want from me? Groveling? Begging? Me. I don't want anything from you. That's the point. I stopped needing you to acknowledge me. I stopped waiting for thank yous. I moved on. Ethan. I'm family. Me. You're someone I used to know. Someone I sacrificed for. Someone who erased me the moment it was convenient. That's not family. He tried calling from different numbers. I blocked them all. The email. A week later, a long email appeared in my inbox. Subject. I understand if you never forgive me. David. I don't know if you'll read this. I hope you do. You're right. About all of it. I erased you from my life because you didn't fit the image I wanted to project. Chelsea's family was old money. Her friends were trust fund kids. And I was the guy who worked his way up from nothing. Except I didn't work my way up from nothing. You gave me everything. You raised me when our parents died. You worked 2 jobs, so I could play soccer. You paid $127,000 so I could go to college debt-free. And I repaid you by pretending you didn't exist. I was ashamed. Not of you. Of myself. Because admitting you paid for my education meant admitting I wasn't self-made. And being self-made was my entire identity in Chelsea's world. So, I deleted you. Changed the story. Made myself the hero. And I convinced myself it was okay, because you'd moved on. Because you had your own life. But that was a lie I told myself to justify treating you terribly. I knew what I was doing. I knew it was wrong. I did it anyway. When you called me out about the wedding, about the comments, about everything, I knew you were right. But I was too deep in the lie to admit it. Now I've lost everything.
The job.
The marriage. The lifestyle. The friends who were never really friends. All I have left is the truth. I'm the guy whose brother sacrificed everything for him and who threw that brother away the moment he didn't need him anymore. I don't deserve your help. I don't deserve your forgiveness. I just want you to know you were right about everything. And I'm sorry. I'm not asking you to let me stay with you. I'm not asking for money. I'm not asking for anything. I just needed you to know that I understand now. What you did for me. What I threw away. What I lost when I erased you. You deserved better.
You deserve better now. I'm sorry.
Ethan. I read it 3 times. Then I closed it and went back to my life. 2 months later. I'm writing this because Ethan is still trying. He's sent 5 more emails. All apologizing. All acknowledging what he did. All asking for nothing except to be heard. He got a new job. Entry-level position at a smaller firm. Massive pay cut. He's living in a studio apartment in Queens, working to rebuild. He's in therapy, apparently. Working on the person he became and trying to understand why he did what he did. He sent his therapist's bill in 1 email. Not to ask me to pay for it. Just to prove he was actually going. $150 per week. He's paying for it himself. Every email ends the same way. I don't expect forgiveness. I just want you to know I'm trying to be better. My fiancé asked what I'm going to do. Nothing. He seems genuinely sorry. Words are easy. Changed behavior over years is what matters. But he's trying. He tried for 5 years to erase me. He can try for 5 years to prove he's changed. That's harsh. That's fair. The question everyone asks, will you ever let him back in? Maybe. If he spends years proving he's changed. Not through words. Through actions. If he makes a full accounting of what I paid and actually pays me back. If he apologizes not just to me, but publicly. Acknowledges that his success was built on my sacrifice. If he spends years being the brother he should have been. Not because he needs me. Because he values me. Maybe then. But probably not. Because here's what I learned. You can't rebuild a relationship with someone who only remembered you existed when they needed something. Even if they apologize. Even if they seem genuine. The foundation is broken. The trust is gone. And I've built a life without him. A good life. With people who value me. Who don't erase me when I'm inconvenient. Who don't delete my comments because I don't fit their image. I don't need Ethan. And that's the difference between us. When I didn't need him anymore, I still loved him. Still reached out.
Still tried.
When he didn't need me anymore, he erased me. That tells you everything about the difference between us. To my brother, if you're reading this, you asked what you could do to make this right. Here's the truth. Nothing. You can't give me back the 6 years I worked 2 jobs while you were in high school. You can't give me back the $143,000 I paid for your education and the interest. You can't give me back the 5 years you pretended I didn't exist. You can't give me back being at your wedding, being part of your life, being acknowledged as the person who made your success possible. You threw all of that away for a lifestyle that turned out to be borrowed. And now you want me to be your safety net. But I'm not your safety net. I'm not your backup plan. I'm not the person you call when everyone else is gone. I'm the person you should have valued all along. And you didn't. So now you get to live with that choice. Just like I had to live with working 2 jobs at 19 while raising you. The difference is, I made sacrifices because I loved you. You made sacrifices of me because you were ashamed of me. We're not the same. If you sacrificed for a sibling who erased you after they succeeded, you don't owe them rescue when their life falls apart. You don't owe them housing, money, or support. You don't owe them forgiveness just because they apologize. They made choices. For years.
Consistently.
Those choices have consequences. You are not obligated to shield them from those consequences. Sometimes the kindest thing you can do is let someone learn what it means to actually struggle without a safety net. Like you did for them. 3 months later. Final update. Ethan has stopped emailing. His last message said, I understand. I'll stop reaching out. But I want you to know. I'm living differently. I'm being honest about my past. I told my new colleagues about you. About what you did for me. About how I failed you. I'm not hiding anymore. Not because I think it will change your mind. Because it's the right thing to do. I love you.
I'm sorry.
I hope you're happy. I haven't responded. But I looked at his LinkedIn. His headline used to be, Self-made finance professional VP investor. Now it says, Finance professional grateful for second chances. His About section mentions me. Everything I achieved was possible because my brother raised me and paid for my education after our parents died. I spent years taking that for granted. I'm spending the rest of my life trying to earn back his respect. It's public. Visible to all his colleagues and connections. He's finally telling the truth. My fiancé saw it. That must have been hard for him to post.
Yeah.
Does it change anything?
No.
But it's a start. Maybe in 5 years I'll feel differently. Maybe not. Either way, I'm good. I paid for my siblings' education. They pretended I didn't exist after. Now their career collapsed and suddenly I'm the supportive family member again. I said no. And I'd say no again. Some bridges, once burned, stay burned. Even if the person who burned them brings apologies and regret. For everyone asking. He apologized. Why not give him another chance? Because apologies without years of changed behavior are just words. Family is family. Family is earned through consistent love and support. DNA doesn't obligate me to anything. Don't you think you're being too harsh?
No.
I was his safety net for 10 years. He was my ghost for 5 years. Now he gets to save himself. What would it take for you to forgive him?
Years.
Consistent change. Repayment. Public acknowledgement. Maybe then. But probably not. Do you regret paying for his education? I regret that he wasted the opportunity to have a relationship with me. But I don't regret helping him. That's who I am. His response is who he is. I paid $143,000 for my brother's education. He used it to build a life I wasn't invited to. Then his life collapsed, and he called me for rescue. I said no. Best boundary I ever set. He learned what self-made actually means. And I learned that sacrificing for someone doesn't obligate you to keep doing it when they throw you away. Some lessons cost $143,000 to learn. But they're worth it.